There is an anime I watched back in the day that still haunts me to this day. It's an anime that's kind of lost to time nowadays, and it's one I rarely hear mentioned in discussions. It's an anime that can only be found on the deepest and darkest parts of the internet. Okay, no, I'm just kind of being dramatic about that part. But in reality, this anime did disturb the younger me, and it's time for me to share that disturbingness with you today. The anime is called The Fruits of Graia, I think I said that right, and the basic plot of this anime from hell is this boy who goes to an all-girls school, and I know what you're thinking, how can this harem be that disturbing? But just wait. So all the girls have this mental trauma from their past, and the boy Yuji helps them to overcome their trauma throughout the episodes. I think the reason this scared me so much when I was younger is just because it comes off as this innocent little show, so you let your guard down, and then all hell breaks loose. This kind of has a similar effect to Happy Tree Friends, if you know what that is. So Fruits of Graia is based off a visual novel, and it looks mega boring, so I don't want to bother with that. Just watch the anime version. And the anime has 2 seasons, but I'll just be focusing on season 1 today, so let's just stop wasting our time and jump right into episode 1. Our boy Yuji arrives at this police station with almost no identity at all. The police can find nothing about his family, past life, or anything. But just in time, the teacher of the all-girls school arrives to pick up Yuji and take him to school. And on the way to school, they die. Just kidding, they arrive at the school and this freaky maid named Sachi greets them. Yuji also learns he is one of only 6 students, so a very small school, but this will make more sense later. Yuji also reveals he has a dream of wanting to be a normal student living a normal life. I mean, I guess he lives a normal life if you call normal living with 5 girls, but whatever. He then meets Amane, who might have the darkest past out of any character, but we'll talk about that later. He also meets Amane's sister, Makina. This annoying blonde girl is named Michiru, and I know Japanese names are sometimes hard to keep track of, but you don't really gotta worry about that, just, they all look distinct enough, you'll be chillin'. Anyways, he then meets the last girl, Sakaki, who immediately tries to stab him. W first impression. And that was episode 1, basically just an introduction to all the characters, and makes you think this would be some wholesome Discord mod harem anime. You just wait, buddy. Episodes 2 and 3 are much of the same school life stuff and building your connections to the characters, but I'm sure you guys don't care much about that, cause I really didn't. But episode 4 is when we learn about the blonde girl Michiru's past, and this is the meat of the show. So Yuji is basically going to the school on a mission to help these girls escape their past trauma and really just let go of the past and live a normal life. But Michiru opens up to Yuji and gets all scholarly, saying the sky makes her feel like she's trapped in a box and she feels like she's trapped in her own body, and then she freaking hits us with this question.
人って死んだらどうなるの?
Well dang, that just changed the whole mood of the conversation. Anyways, throughout the days, it seems Michiru has a changing personality. Sometimes she'll be all goofy and funny, and then randomly she'll switch it to be all serious and deep. But the only thing that is calming her with these personality breakdowns is this cat. But that all changes when 5 minutes later, the cat gets hit by a car, and the girl starts tweaking out. And the anime also throws in that this girl has been taking medicine to control her personalities, so she's basically got the DID thing, if you ever heard of that. Anyway, Michiru is in a state of shock after the cat dies, and tells Yuji that her real personality is trapped in her body, and she should kill herself to let the other personality be free. Yuji agrees to this insane request and takes her to her favorite spot to bury her. She then changes her mind halfway through being buried and doesn't actually want to die. But it's too late, she's already trapped in the box and she dies. Now I'm trolling, thankfully it doesn't get that dark and Michiru climbs out and lets her old personality live. So see what I mean now? This Yuji dude is helping them let go of their trauma, and now she's a normal girl and she can just be chilling now at the school. His methods are kind of crazy though, let me just say that. Now if you think that is as bad as this anime gets, you just gotta wait and see. Next girl's trauma we learn about is Knife Girl. So she pretty much had this abusive, controlling dad, and she came to the school to escape him. In the episode, he finds out what school she's going to and goes there and threatens to kill her if she doesn't come back home. She then pulls this grenade out and blows up the entire building to get away from him. and even stages a whole freaking death to trick him with the fake dead body and everything. The man finally realizes how much of a terrible father he is and decides to actually fund the school so it can be an escape for other people. I mean, that's at least what I've made of it. But other than that, this is pretty tame and kind of slow paced compared to some of the other stories. Next up is the maid girl. She lived in a happy family with parents, and then one day as they were crossing the street, a truck comes out of nowhere and kills her parents right in front of the young maid girl's eyes. And apparently this trauma is the reason why she always does what she's told, because she wants to make her dead parents happy even if they're not around. Yuji tells her it's okay to be selfish every once in a while, and those words are enough for Sachi to let go of her trauma. So that's basically how my boy Yuji rolls. He was sent to school on a mission to help all these girls let go of their dark past, and apparently whatever he's saying is working because all these girls fall in love with him throughout the episodes. And if you think this girl has the darkest past, you're gonna be surprised, trust me. Makina's past, which is a whole 2 episodes, I'm just gonna skip over them because it's kind of boring and complicated. I just really want to talk about Amane's past because that's the main focus of this video. It is just so disturbing, man. Alright, so here we go. So Amane comes in Yuji's room and decides to tell him her past because it has deeply affected her, and Yuji actually has a connection to her past. Alright, so it starts out with Amane and her class getting back from a 3-week summer camp. On the way back, the bus runs over this rock thing and then flies over the cliff, and they land somewhere deep in the forest. Thankfully, only one dies in the crash, but still several of them are injured. Amane quickly makes friends with this white-haired girl named Kazuki, and she'll end up becoming the leader of the group because of her survival skills. They get everyone out of the bus except for the one dead one, and there are 10 girls and 1 teacher. In classic movie style, they don't have any service on their phones, so that's out of the question. The white-haired girl then fixes everyone's wounds, and they all kind of agree that that's why she should be in charge, at least until the teacher becomes conscious. But then the teacher becomes conscious and they take inventory. They got enough tents and only 3 days worth of food, and that's pretty much all they do the first day. Day 2, Kazuki goes into the forest and gets all this grass to eat. She does this because she doesn't think they'll be saved within 3 days. Kazuki then treats people's wounds, and everyone else basically does nothing. Out of nowhere, they hear a helicopter in the sky, and everyone starts shouting trying to get its attention, but it just flies off. Day 3, there are now 3 dead people, and the bodies smell terrible because of the heat. They also have to ration their food like crazy because we're already at day 3. The anime then skips to day 5. This girl starts tweaking out because they are 1 carat short, so paranoia is really starting to set in. Then we jump to day 7, and let me just pause and give my 2 cents. From what I heard, the visual novel goes a lot more in depth, especially with this past, and I wish the anime did the same. The anime is trying to short a 51-hour and 50-minute game down to 12 episodes, so I guess that's why it's kind of skipping around a lot. Anyways, on day 7, white-haired girl and Chiaki, the captain of the basketball club, have beef because the captain is not as gentle and heartfelt as the white-haired girl is. The captain is really harsh with the sick and forces this girl to eat. All we really need to get out of this is the tension is building because of the lack of food, water, and morals. The girl who's being forced to eat is actually refusing to eat because she's embarrassed of crapping. No freaking way, bro, you're starving yourself because of that? Then we get this interesting moment.
血が止まっていないじゃない。
And that's it for day 7. On to day 8. On this day, the teacher announces that he will be leaving to try to find some way out of the forest. Amane is worried everyone will go crazy without an adult there, but Kazuki reassures her that she will sacrifice anything to keep her safe. So she definitely likes her. Likes her a little bit more than the average person. Day 10, the teacher is not returned yet. Not sure why they're just now trying to find a way out of the forest, but whatever, it's a TV show. And now they have really stretched out their food supplies, because they only had 3 days worth to start with. There's maggots crawling on the wounds of a girl, and her body is starting to rot alive. The girl says she just wants to die. Day 11, a green-haired girl is going mentally insane, singing and sniffing rocks. According to Kazuki, this is because of a lack of vitamins and not watching Luffy Not Cringe, so subscribe guys. Everyone's just getting weaker and weaker, and their only priority is to survive now.
私たちはただ死なないために生きるので精一杯だった。お腹が空けば雑草や虫をはみ、喉が渇けば生水を飲む。食べられるものを探し回り、それ以外の時間は下痢したお腹をさすりながら
Day 12, a girl's dog dies, which, why was this dog just mentioned? There's been no talk of a dog until now. Obviously, everyone decides to eat it because they've gotten that desperate, but it just takes getting over a lot of mental hurdles for them to actually butcher the thing and eat it. Day 13, a girl eats flower buds and dies, and a whole lot of people die that day. Day 14, everyone's hunger has reached their limits, and Kazuki randomly drops the lore that her little brother is Yuji, the same Yuji that Amane is telling the story to and meets years later. The teacher comes back out of nowhere acting insane and never ended up finding any help. Day 15, 3 people die and a girl eats maggots from her body. Probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen. But now there's good news, something unexpected happens. The teacher killed a deer and now they have meat to eat. Don't worry, eat up, it's just a deer. Kazuki is suspicious of this and advises Amane not to eat it. That night, the basketball captain and teacher go off into the woods. Yeah, this is pretty weird. And Amane and Kazuki finally decide to make an escape. Kazuki shows Amane what's really been going on, and that deer was actually the dead body of one of the students. The teacher's been feeding everyone human meat. The teacher notices them, and now in an animal-like state, acting like a titan chasing them, Kazuki knocks him out, and they keep running. All the students are too fast for them, and Kazuki offers herself up as bait to save Amane. She gives Amane all this food she's been saving up for weeks, and even notes on how to escape. So why the frick did they just not try to leave earlier if she had notes on how to escape? I just don't get it. The last Amane sees of Kazuki is her getting eaten alive by her own classmates. She passes out and wakes up by the road. So it's that simple, huh? That's all they had to do to escape? This is what makes me so mad about this anime. I don't even get why nobody was like, okay, let's eat and like backpack and just try to get through this forest and find a way out. Just go straight, because eventually you'll reach civilization. But nope, none of them decided to do that. They just like camped out in the middle of this valley and then waited for everybody to go crazy. Anyway, she runs over to this nearby cabbage farm and tears that junk up. As she transitions back to normal life, everyone spreads these rumors that she ate people to survive, and Amane is constantly having nightmares about what she experienced. And that is her full story. She feels especially bad telling all this to Yuji because his sister died because of her innocence. Yuji basically says he's not mad anymore and he's happy she's alive. And there we go, that was Fruits of Grisasia Season 1. Like I said, this anime is not perfect. The visual novel I'm sure is better, but I like watching anime, dude. And this was pretty disturbing, and I kind of enjoy it because of that, I guess. I watched Season 2 and it wasn't super great, so I won't cover that in the video unless you guys really want me to. Well, that's probably it for now. Sorry if you guys won't be able to sleep for a while because of the price you had to pay going on this journey with me. Also, I gotta mention I started up a Discord server, and the link to that will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching my stupid videos as always, and I love you guys.